So let's say 1 to 4. Bismillah. 1, 2, 3. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Excellent. All right. Iyaka. Next one is Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Now, common mistakes in this one is not applying the shaddas as well, right? Imam al-Nawawi actually mentioned specifically shaddas. He told us the exact number of shaddas that are in the Fatiha, right? Which is 14. And he said, you got to hit every last one of them, or else it's major mistake on our parts. Got to hit every single shadda in there. 14 of them, all right? So, not Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. This is common. People say Iyaka. But what is Iyaka when we say it the right way? What does that mean? What does that mean? Iyaka, when we say it like that. It means you. So there's something that causes it to mean exclusively or only you, or you alone. And that is the structure of the sentence. But Iyaka by itself, all it means is you. But the fact that it came first in the sentence, in the ayah, that's what causes it to mean only you, because in Arabic, the most important things come early on in the sentence. So in this ayah, the emphasis is on you, which is a reference to whom? Allah. So that is the emphasis. It is you, Allah, that I worship, i.e. you only, Ya Allah. Because if I said, Na'buduka, we worship you in that way, we worship you as opposed to you, we worship, that doesn't mean exclusively. It means, well, I worship you, but perhaps I worship other things too. You see what I'm saying? The Quraysh, they worshipped Allah. They actually believed in Allah. Allah was like for them the supreme God, but He wasn't the only God. There was many other gods for them. But they actually believed in Allah, and they said this word, Allah, right? So we say, Iyaka, you alone, Ya Allah. But the thing that causes it to mean that is the sentence structure. So Iyaka. When we don't say Iyaka and we say Iyak, now it becomes something else. Now it's like a name, right, of something or someone else. So you alone, parentheses, Ya Allah, we worship, now becomes Iyak, we worship you, whoever that is or whatever that is. So now we go from this beautiful ayah in which we are telling Allah, it is you alone. We're, Tawheed, right? Showing our Tawheed, proclaiming our Tawheed, to the opposite of Tawheed, which is shirk. Because we're saying we worship something else and we seek our assistance or something else. Just by not applying the shadda and the word Iyaka, right? So, say Iyaka. 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 Think of it like a slingshot. Iyaka, right? You're pulling back, releasing. Iyaka. Iyaka. Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Excellent. And we want to be mindful of both. We got to remember, Iyaka comes twice, right? It's twice. But for some reason, a lot of people do one but not the other. It's the same exact word. So it should be pronounced exactly the same. So not Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. And not Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Even seasoned reciters make this mistake. We want both. Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Excellent. So, Iyaka. So now, na'budu. Some people say the noon heavily. They say na'budu. It's not na'budu. It's na'budu. Say na'budu. And now some people say na'budu. Some people say ne'budu. But we want ayn. Na'budu. Na'budu. Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka na'budu wa Some people will say na'budu and make the dal into dal. A big mistake. Some other people say iyyaka na'budu. Na'budu, like this. Na'budu. Say na'budu. Right. Budu instead of na'budu. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka. Right? We don't want to do that. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Another very common mistake is people saying وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. They say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. وَإِيَّاكَ وَإِيَّاكَ وَإِيَّاكَ. Say وَإِيَّاكَ. We want to separate. And now we don't want to say also وَإِيَّاكَ. Some people make that mistake and turn the hamza into ayn. وَإِيَّاكَ. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Now the waw and وَإِيَّاكَ, we want to say wa, not wa. A lot of people say وَإِيَّاكَ, wa. Waw fatha, wa. وَإِيَّاكَ. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Last but not least, we don't want to, or not last but last two things. We don't want to say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. إِيَّاكَ. Remember we said a, o, e, u. So not إِيَّاكَ. إِيَّاكَ. Like that. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Say that. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Excellent. Now, the last thing is, people say نَسْتَعِينُ. There's two mistakes happening here. They're turning the ta into a ta, and then they're turning the ayn into like a ya or something else. They say نَسْتَعِينُ. Say that. نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Excellent. Let's say it together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Again. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Again. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Excellent. All right. Let's say it together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we move on. 1, 2, 3. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Now on 3, let's say 1 to what? Is that 5? 1, 2, 3. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. All right, we just got 2 left, y'all. Now, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Common mistakes in this ayah is people saying, number 1, they skip the ha altogether, say اهدنا. We want to say اهدنا. Another mistake they make is not making the kasra sharp enough. They say اهدنا, but it's e. Say اهدنا. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. That's excellent. All right. Now, we want to, so the other common mistake is people saying ihdina with ha instead of a ha. Remember, ha comes from which part of the throat? Middle. The ha comes from which part of the throat? No, furthest point, down here. So ha is from here, ha is from here. Right? So, not ihdina, but ihdina. So, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Right, ihdina. So we want to make sure the dal is dal and not dad. So don't say ihdina, right? And then the next thing is the noon. We want to make the noon light and not make it heavy because the sad is coming after. So a lot of people would say ihdina sirata, nos, but it's na, ihdina sirata. Say that. Right. Say ihdina sirata. Right. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Right. Want to make sure the ra is heavy. I'm coming to you in 1 second. Right. الصراط. Right. صراط. Say الصراط. Right. Now the ra. Now the other thing that people will do is they say اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. This is like one of the most common mistakes. Is اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So they swap. Turn the ta into ta and the ta into ta. But what did we say the meaning of tajweed? Giving each letter is right with regard to pronunciation and characteristics, right? So the ta is ta and the ta is ta. So اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Like that. All right. So اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Now the other common mistake here is saying mustaqim with kaf. It's al-mustaqim. Say qi. Qi. Right. Don't say qi, not qi, but qi. Say al-mustaqim. المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Excellent. All right. So let's say that together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Again. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. One more time. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. All right. So, all right. Let's say that together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Again. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. One more time. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Excellent. All right. So let's say 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Excellent. All right, we got 1 ayah left. We're going to break it into 2, but we're not going to treat it like 2 ayahs. We're going to break it into 2, but then we'll say it all together and then practice it as a single ayah. All right? So the last thing is صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, and we'll pause there. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, and then we are done. All right. Man, I never knew we could go this long on just Fatiha, right? Woo! I'll tell y'all, tajweed, you're getting a taste of in-depth tajweed study, right? So know that if you want to succeed in studying tajweed, you're going to need 3 main things. Number 1, humility. Humility is extremely important. Like we said earlier, tajweed is a subject that will terribly, terribly humble a person. I mean, it will very much humble a person because, I mean, you completely make yourself vulnerable, right? And put it all out there, recite it, and be ready to just get, it broken down, right? Just completely broken down, right? And you got to be okay with that. You have to trust the teacher. You have to trust that the teacher ain't going to get paid anymore or anything, because in most cases they're doing it for free a lot of times, right? But you have to trust that whether you're paying them or not, if you're paying them, they're not getting any more by correcting you. If you're not paying them, they're not going to get anything by you correcting you. So that means what? If they're correcting me, then what am I doing? I must be making a mistake. And so I need to just put my guard down and listen, and then I'll be able to hear the mistake. But if I got my guard up, like, what? I'm saying that already. That's what a lot of people say. I'm saying exactly what you're saying. Like, what you talking about? Then you just got these blinders up, and you're never going to hear the mistake that you're making, and then you just keep on, same cycle, over and over and over again. And so, trust the teacher, right? So number one, humility. Be humble and accept whatever's coming your way. Number two, patience. Why? Remember what we said about Sheikh Mendez, 6 months on letter Ra, right? And there were Arabs in Syria that I witnessed be on Fatiha for 3 months. Arabs. You would think, Arab don't have no problem with tajweed, right? Because they speak Arabic. No. As the scholars say, tajweed is one of the noble sciences of Islam. It's a science, which means what? A science must be studied. So whether you're Arab or not, if you don't study tajweed, you're not going to be able to apply it. It's as simple as that. If you don't study it, you can't apply it. It's as simple as that, right? And Quran is one of those things that you can, like the application of tajweed, you can only teach yourself up until a certain point. At a certain point, you're going to hit a ceiling. And you'll never move past that ceiling until you get a teacher. Because a recording, for example, is the recording going to stop and say, you said that too heavy, lighten it up. You said that too light, make it heavy. You stretched that too long, shorten it. So the recording is not going to do that. So you could be doing that. You have no idea that you're making that mistake. And you're going to think, well, I'm good. I think I'm saying it exactly like the recording. But you're not in many cases, right? And so patience with the teacher, because it might take you 3 months to get the Fatiha down. And if it does, alhamdulillah. And the third thing, so we said what? We said humility, we said patience. Third thing, perseverance. Why perseverance? Fatiha is page what? How many pages we got left? We got 599 pages left, y'all. Right? If the goal is recite the whole Quran with tajweed, even if we don't memorize it, but we can get to a point of at least reciting the whole Quran with tajweed, because if we learn the rules and we learn how to apply them, right, and then we read on somebody, read the whole Quran, and we can know how to read the whole Quran with tajweed without having it memorized, which is perfectly fine. It's not obligatory on us to memorize the Quran, right? But it is obligatory on us to recite it properly. So, humility, patience, and then that perseverance, that stick-to-itness. Stick to it. Don't fall off. Sirata, same thing. We said Ihdina Sirata. We want to make sure the Sad is Sad and not Seen. So not Sirata, but sleep. Say sleep. Sleep. Right? We don't want to say sleep, but it's sleep. Sleep. Yeah, like that. Sirata. Say ta. Sirata. A lot of people will say Sirat al-Ladina. Sirat al-Ladina. Sirat al-Ladina. Sirat al-Ladina. Right, we want to say it heavy. Ta. Now, they say it now. The next thing is we say Sirat al-Ladina. Now, we don't want to say, of course, we don't want to say Sirat al-Lazina. And we don't want to say Sirat al-Ladina with dal. Not dal, not za, but dhal. The th of that, them, those, these, there, and so on and so forth. Alright? So, Sirat al-Ladina. Like that. And we also don't want to say Sirat al-Latina. A lot of people say Tina. Right? Sirat al-Ladina. Now, next thing. An'amta. Say An'amta. If you look at your Qur'ans, you'll see the noon has sukoon, right? And the meme has sukoon, which means what? We want to say them clearly. So not what normally people will say is what? Sirat al-Ladina anamta alayhim. Anamta, right? Everybody says anamta. It's not anamta. It's an'amta. What does an'amta mean? What does an'amta mean? So what? Those? To bestow blessings. Alright. Bestow blessings. الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ are those upon whom you have bestowed your blessings. The an'amta is bestowed blessings, right? So, that's what that means. If I say an'amta, what does that mean? You're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. So what? No. It means, what does it mean? Yeah, she remembers from the other Fatiha Workshop. It means to put to sleep. It's from the verb anama yunimu, which means, so that's the past tense, first person, anamta. You put to sleep. So it means you go from saying, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your blessings, to the path of those who you put to sleep. Ain't that something? Brother in Atlanta Master, when we did Atlanta Master, he said, that's why we sleep, because we asking a lot to put us to sleep. We keep on asking a lot to put us to sleep. He was saying it wrong this whole time. He was going in, right? I was like, to leave it up to our people to point that out. He's right though, right? We were asking a lot to put us to sleep. Guide me to the straight path, the path of those who you put to sleep. That's what you said, right? So, not anamta. An'amta. أنعمت صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم Excellent. So not an'amta alayhim, but an'amta alayhim. Some people say an'amta, but it's an'amta. Now, the last thing we said, alayhim. You notice that? Not alayhim. Alayhim. Say that? Alayhim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Now, let's say that together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم Again صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم Alright, so who would like to say that part? Oh no, we're going to finish and then we'll say the whole thing. Alright, now the next one غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now, a lot of people will say what? غير المغضوب. What mistake did I make? غير. You say it? Say it? So what are you doing? I made it too light. Gotta make it heavy, right? It's not غير. It's غين فتحة makes what sound? غا. غا. So it's not غيري. And it's not غيري. It's not غيري. It's غا. غيري. غيري. Say غي. غيري. Not غيري, but غيري. غيري. غير المغضوب. Right. Not MacDoobie. Huh? It's not MacDoobie. I'm just saying, right? You know what it is? Al-Maghdubi. Say Al-Maghdubi. Al-Maghdubi. See how more serious that sounds? Like, we can take that seriously. We can't take MacDoobie seriously. we can't take that seriously. Oh man. غير المغضوب. غير المغضوب عليهم. غير المغضوب عليهم. Like that. Now, ولا الضالين. ولا الضالين. one thing we want to observe here. The wow, we want to make it light. Most people say wallah, wallah, wallah. We want to say wala. Say wala. 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 Right, we're going from light to heavy. One of the most difficult things in tajweed to do is to transition from light to heavy and from heavy to light. Here we have that happening. Not wallah and not waladda. Waladda. Waladdallin. Now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to overly make it heavy, right? We don't want to say waladdu, waladda, waladda. The other thing we don't want to do is we don't want to eliminate the shadda in the lam. This is the final shadda in the surah. Not waladdallin, waladdallin with shadda. Right. The other thing we don't want to do finally is we don't want to say waladdallin. Some people do this where they start off heavy, but they end off light. They say waladdallin. We don't want to do that. It's consistently heavy. Remember what we said? The alif takes on the characteristic of the letter that it's attached to. In this case, the alif is attached to bar. It's going to stay heavy the full length, 6 beats. Waladdallin, and we make it light once we hit that lam, but not until we hit the lam. All right. So غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Right. So let's say it together let's say that together 3 times. That part, just that part. 1, 2, 3. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Again. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Again. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now we'll say the whole ayah, but we'll pause on the first عليهم and then continue. That make sense? All right, 1, 2, 3. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Again. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. One more time. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. And so before we say the full surah and have people just say that one ayah, we'll have just a few people practice that, inshallah, and then we'll say the whole thing together. But before we do that though, let me just, the final piece of advice, if you will, is our intentions for doing this workshop, for being here today and participating. I want to remind us that it is to help strengthen our own recitation of Suratul Fatiha and hopefully inspire us to try and do the rest of the surahs that we have memorized as well. After this workshop, your ear, because so many of us have recited and we heard and we listened closely and we really dug deep, Fatiha is not going to sound the same to us anymore. It's just not going to sound the same. You're going to pray behind people, and all those common mistakes that we talked about, you're going to hear all of them, right? Or some of them. Maybe you forget a couple or a few or whatever. But you're going to hear some of them. You're going to be like, oh, that's the... So it's probably going to be a little distraction for a little while, right? It's going to distract you in your prayer for a little bit, which is fine. It'll, But in your own prayer, when you're doing it, inshallah, hopefully it'll increase you in your khushu' because you're going to be more focused on making sure that you're reciting properly, right? A lot of people have told me that they say, man, after working on the Fatiha like this, I'm focused a lot more, at least in that part of the prayer where they're trying to recite with tajweed, right? Now, when it comes to other people, we have to hold back from trying to correct other people, right? Don't try to approach nobody and say, hey man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sis, you know what I'm saying? You act right? You know what I'm saying? MacDoobie not a word, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to stop saying that, brother. Like, we're not trying to point out other people's mistakes. We want to identify our own, and we want to correct our own. We're going to leave people alone. I don't even correct people who are not my students. If you didn't come to me and ask me to teach you, I'm minding my business. I hear you making mistakes left and right. Ain't got nothing to do with me. If you ask for advice or listen to my Fatiha, listen to me recite, all right, I'm going to give you that feedback, right? But if you just reciting and I'm walking past, I'm not going to come out and start critiquing you all left and right? So we're here to fix our own Fatiha. You might be distracted for a little bit, all right, fine. But inshallah, you get used to it, inshallah. All right, so I just wanted to remind us of our intention so that we can, inshallah, if we haven't already made the intention, let's make that intention right now. If you did, this is a good time to renew the intention. Because you know the hadith about intention, Imam al-Nawawi put that in the beginning of 3 of his books. And when he explained why. He said that he always wanted it to be a reminder to the student of knowledge that was getting ready to study that book to make the right intention and to renew their intention. So we should constantly renew our intentions, why it is that we're doing what it is that we're doing. So that's why I want us to take an opportunity to do right now. This is about us, not about other people. All right? Alhamdulillah. So, anyone like to say the last ayah? I'll say it again as a refresher. And then anyone that wants to volunteer, inshallah, that's it, we'll end it off. So, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Alright, so on 3, we will start from the beginning. And we will recite the whole surah. 1, 2, go. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
آمين. تكبير 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 ولله الحمد. Allahu Akbar. So, Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah bless all of you, all of us. As you know, whenever believers come together and do something like this, and we come together with mentioning Allah's name, as the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah mentioned us in a greater gathering, right? A gathering with the angels, alhamdulillah. And so we're hoping that Allah sent His angels down to surround us and drown us in barakah, right? While we were doing this, and that He is mentioning us amongst His angels, that His servant so-and-so, what's your name? Isa, His servant Isa, His servant Yasin, His servant Kwame, Ayub, and so on, and everyone back here, that they're down there, they're mentioning your name, they're reading your book, right? And that Allah uses this to, that Allah forgives us of our sins and replaces them with good ones, with good deeds as a result. Ameen. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.